Hi everyone, this is Robert with Captora. Hope everyone's having a good morning and afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. Thanks for joining our webinar today. We're going to be going over how Marketo is leveraging Captora for digital marketing acceleration. To get started here, we'll make some brief introductions. My name is Robert Bowe. I'm an account manager here at Captora, responsible for both the pre-sale cycle as well as onboarding our customers. So I've been fortunate enough to work with the great Marketo team, and I'm here with my colleague, Jason Gray.
Hi everybody, this is Jason Gray, and I head up customer success and have done over 25 personally of our implementations and launches of customers, and in past time spent at Marketo as well.
Great. So a few housekeeping items before we get started. This webinar will be recorded and sent to all of you. The slides and the link will be in that email. Feel free to post questions in the chat box down at the bottom left corner, I think it is, and we'll have some time at the end to answer your questions and make sure everyone gets their questions addressed. If you'd like to tweet at us throughout the webinar, feel free to tweet at me at robbo5 and use the hashtag #CDoWin. We'd love to hear your reviews and questions and comments on social media. So we're going to start with the Marketo case study here and then work backwards on how we helped them achieve this goal. So this is data from last year. We're still compiling the data from this year, but wanted to share with you the growth that they saw using Captora and really just using the best practices for both paid and organic search on the web. So the way we really judge success here at Captora is through number of visitors, number of leads, and conversion rates. So it's all about driving people to the website and getting them to convert based on your content and based on the body of that page. So Marketo has launched over 200 campaigns with Captora, improved their cost per lead drastically. And what's really interesting is that 90% of the leads that they are getting are from non-branded. So they're not searching for Marketo lead nurturing or Marketo lead solutions. What they are doing is searching for terms like lead nurturing systems or lead scoring solutions. And Marketo is the first people to educate them and then gets to nurture them along throughout the rest of the marketing and sales process. So a couple things to consider as we go through the deck and the demo today are how people are finding your content. You know, when they're on Google, are they able to find your content through paid and organic channels? And do you have content that drives these conversions? Are you driving everyone back to a home page or a resources page? Or do you have a specific landing page for all of your pieces of content to really help with conversion rates? How long does it take to launch a digital campaign? When we say digital campaign, we mean a pain statement, so something like lead scoring solutions, to a landing page with content on there. How long would it take you to create a new website page with the content on there and make sure that that's optimized for both SEO and paid search? How many links do you have pointing to your site? That goes along with the Lexa ranking there at the bottom, really giving you an idea of how your website is comparing to your competition's and basically how good of market share do you have out on the World Wide Web. Very important to understand what channels you're using to promote your website. So are we using social, paid, organic, our blog, all the different channels that we can drive people through to our other resources on the site. And then we have all this content. We've spent thousands, millions of dollars on all these ebooks, videos, white papers. How is that content performing? So let's really understand what content is driving the most conversion rates and what keywords lead people to that content. So Marketo did a great job educating us on how marketing is much more involved in the overall process of a prospect becoming a customer in today's world. Yesterday's marketer, marketing is the cost center, wasn't responsible for, all those ROI metrics like pipeline and qualified deals and new business. In today's world, as we know, marketing now is taking up much more of the responsibility, and sales has less of that responsibility. So the marketers are now under pressure to drive more leads, drive more pipeline, drive new people to the website. And now with Google and Bing and all the social channels, there are so many different avenues out there to help you grow your pipeline, but it's all about doing it in an efficient and an effective way. When we think about where Capterra fits into the digital marketing stack that you guys have today, it's all about engaging new buyers. We know that the marketing automation systems like Marketo are great for our known contacts. We have their email address, we have their job title, they're already in our database. So it makes it a little bit easier for us to market to them and educate them on our services by knowing that information. Now, if you or I are online and going to different competitors' websites, looking to find research on different products and services, we're not just going to give up our email address to any provider or any company, because we'll get our email inboxes flooded with spam from every single vendor. So now we need to take that education process and move it up to even higher in the funnel of the sales process here. So that's where Capterra really is meant to fit in your digital marketing stack, is to automate the top of your funnel campaigns, so your paid campaigns, organic campaigns, and your content campaigns, to help drive more names, more leads into your marketing automation system and be that educator before you have their name or email address. So it's all about turning those anonymous people into known people so marketing automation can score, nurture, and move them through your sales funnel. We found that when I talked about campaign, as a reminder, I said a paid statement that goes with the landing page and content, and actually the process of creating that. Without Capterra, Marketo was seeing that they could have one person manage 5 to 15 campaigns. So that's basically those personalized landing pages we were talking about. Each person on their demand gen team could handle in between 5 and 15 campaigns. This is not that efficient, and the goal of Capterra is to allow one person to now leverage 300 to 500 campaigns. And the way we do that is by automating best practices. So using your great Marketo templates, using the keywords that are out there on the web, and basically creating a workflow that allows you to launch one of these campaigns within 5 to 10 minutes, instead of it taking sometimes days, weeks, months to identify that paid statement, then build the page, then get the template from IT, then launch it and test it. So we are going to show you the process today of how we would identify, create, and launch these different campaigns. The demo today will focus on 3 key areas, and you'll recognize this from the hashtag, and that's see, do, win. So what we first want to do anytime we're creating a campaign is go out and identify what's important in my space. What key terms, key phrases am I ranking on, and what key terms and phrases are my competitors ranking on? Once we understand buyer demand and competitive intelligence, then we can move into the do. We found a great term to create a landing page for. Now let's actually create that landing page and do it with our Marketo templates that we already have. The last piece is the win. We have all these different paid statements. We have all these different landing pages and content that go with those statements. What is performing the best across different channels and across our different pieces of content? So our agenda for the demonstration today is we're going to first start in that C section. So go out and identify, using competitive intelligence, what kind of ideas and new areas can we come up with to create new pages and new assets on our website. Then we'll take a look at an industry breakdown. We have these competitors, all this noise, all these different channels. What is going on in my industry? What are people putting out there, and what do I need to create either an offensive or defensive attack for? Then we'll go into the best practices for creating both organic and paid campaigns and show you some customer examples and how you would actually create one of those for each channel. And lastly, we'll go over a quick summary of what we saw today and go over an offer that we have for you. As you all know, also by registering, we are giving away a few free summit passes for everyone that attended the webinar today. So we will do a drawing after the webinar and email out the winners. All right. So we're going to start off with competitive intelligence and buyer demand. So how do we find these pain statements and these demand terms that we should start taking action on? So here we have a dashboard here, and this is not Marketo's dashboard. We wanted to keep their data internal, but this is a dashboard that we created in our demo instance, and we used some of the players that you would see out there, some competitors including ourselves, Marketo, HubSpot, some great thought leaders that are out there, and even someone like a Content Marketing Institute. Sometimes we don't need to only have specific competitors, but sometimes there's third parties out there. We'd like to track some of their content as well. What we're doing here is basically listening to the different pieces of content that different companies are putting out there so we can take action and launch campaigns based on that. Now we can see here that Kapost is putting out some great content, and this is a piece of content that was launched on Twitter. We also allow you to segment based on the type of content. So maybe social is not something that we want to focus on because it can get a little bit noisy, and we want to remove that. And now we can see a great video here that HubSpot has put out from YouTube. So the idea here is to come down and be able to scroll and see these different pieces of content, anything from YouTube to SlideShare here, that all the different competitors are launching or third parties. Maybe I wanted to create something similar to what the Content Marketing Institute did here. I have the ability to do that in Captora, where I can save this as an idea. I can see how many visits this are. It's got 73 visits. Maybe that's good enough to make me deem that this is important. And now I can name my idea here, and I want to do something around B2B tech. And we can see that Robert's working on here, and we can type our notes here. We can save this idea, and this will go into our little light bulb tab here on the left. And when I go through the demo today, you're going to see me using these different apps on the left-hand side. And now I have one place where the entire marketing team can come in and collaborate on these different topic ideas. So maybe we want to create a SlideShare around B2B tech. It'll notify that Robert put this in there, and we can add comments, assign tasks, like even in a Salesforce for marketers, so that people really understand who's working on what and what needs to be done with this specific content. Now we're looking at this content as a whole on all these different channels, but we want to break that content down into what we call demand families. So what Captora is doing is indexing content down to the phrase level. So we're going out on the web, crawling your site, your competitor sites, and finding key terms and phrases that are repeated on those sites, on your social networks, on your blog, and really understanding how do we rank in comparison to our competition, and where does the content live that is out on the web. So as an example here, we can look at marketing automation, and this again is just demo data here, and we can see that, okay, for the actual term marketing automation for campaign ideas, HubSpot's doing well, Marketo's doing well, we're in third place here. Maybe we want to take some action. We can also see for content marketing here, what types of content are out there. So we can see that there's 50 web pages in this case, a few social pieces of content, and even a text ad around this particular demand family. Now we can also look at what the competitors have. So there's 134 pages out there just on the competitors that I put in here, a few slide shares, and some text ads here. We can actually drill into these and see, okay, where are these text ads coming from, and what content are they driving people to? So really important when we're making sure we're on top of our competition that we understand where they're investing their Google AdWords and Bing dollars, and understanding where we should maybe either be creating new paid campaigns or maybe launch some new organic campaigns that are less cost than those than investing in those Google AdWords. If I wanted to create a new campaign here, it's very, very simple. So let's say I wanted to create a new campaign around inbound marketing. And this is when I talked about campaign, remember, paid or organic. You can simply come in here and create a new web page, and it's going to tell me some content that I already have around this particular term. And then Captora is going to give me ideas on where I can create new digital marketing campaigns. This is where we are integrated with both your website and your Marketo or marketing automation instance. So when I click inbound marketing platform as an example, this is going to create a page that already lives on your site and has your Marketo template or your CMS template built in. Now, don't worry, this isn't just launched live right away. We have every marketer come in here and review the content before having this go live on your website. Obviously, we want to make sure that the language is right and make sure that we have all the best practices before we publish this to go live up here. But the idea is that I selected my pain statement there, which was inbound marketing platform. Now I have an automated URL here that matches that particular pain statement, as we're calling it, matches my title, matches my subtitle. So when we're talking about Google best practices, this is really important in making sure that we have our URL matching our title and subtitle, and this is going to turn into an individual page instead of just a page that drives someone back to a resources center or a homepage center, and Google's going to index this at a much higher rate. Now, let's say we want help authoring this page. What we're doing is scraping the content from your site. So let's leverage our existing content to allow us to author this page much more quickly. And if we want to use other content, we can look at our competitors' content and obviously never copy their content, but at least get ideas from it. And even if there's content from other sites, so sometimes from a site like a Wikipedia or an HP, we can use their content to help us author this as well. We can also check quality warnings here. So to make sure we don't launch anything that the Google and the other search engines aren't going to like, we have an automated spam meter here to help you understand whether or not you have duplicate content or your grammatical mistakes. So really allowing you to make sure this page is perfect before it goes out. Back to the collaboration, we can also allow you to put comments. You can comment on this page and notify our team about this landing page being produced. So really the idea here is that now we talked about those campaigns, whether we could create 5 or 15 or can we create 100 in a month. And this is the idea that in a few simple clicks here, I now have a customized web page that matches my CMS style or my marketing automation template. I just did a quick edit on the description here to make sure that the content was relevant to my title and subtitle, and I have a new page on my site. And this is why our customers are being able to put 500, 800 new web pages out there in a year, which drives, as you can imagine, new traffic, new leads, and a higher conversion rate. The last piece we do here is we have all your CTAs here, you see at the bottom right, to load into onto this page. So we would simply select one of our assets here, whether it be a form or an asset, and we put that on the page, and we have a customized landing page with our ebook here. I simply click on this ebook, and now I come into, I'll go right to my Marketo or my marketing automation form, and the lead nurturing and lead scoring process will begin. So now that I showed you how it was created, I thought I'd show you an end result of how one of Marketo's pages. So if I come to google.com here and I type in lead generation tools, we're going to see some paid advertisements here, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to see Marketo's ranking on the top of page 1 here. None of their competitors are here because their competitors are probably leading people back to a home page or a generic resources page. And Marketo has this specific page where we see that they have lead generation tools in the URL. They have lead generation in the title and the subtitle here, a nice short description, and then there's CTAs here, whether we want to go to a free trial, demo, or contact us. Other piece to note is that they have, you can see related blogs and articles on this page. So it's really important that, not all the time when we go to the first website we go to, we want to convert on that page, or that page is really interesting to us. So what we're also doing and helping Marketo do is offer up related blog articles. So maybe this wasn't interesting to me, but I want to go to one of these other links and read, and I can convert on that page. Captora is automatically serving up my most relevant and best content to lead generation tools here. So that is an example of the organic application and how Marketo would use this organic app to get on page 1 of Google and really get more leads from their competitors. Next, what we're going to do is move into the paid application and let's show how we can use paid search to optimize conversion rates and really do some A to E testing on our pages to make sure that our content is relevant to the buyers that are coming to the page. One second to maneuver here. And I'm going to hand it over to Jason, who is our in-house paid expert.
Well, I don't know about that, but certainly, thank you, Rob, for giving me the stage here. What I'll go through here is really extending this story from organic to paid, where it's all about putting content in context. At the end of the day, it's all about the content, organic and or paid, and so if we can better target our audience, then we can drive greater conversions. Just as we saw in organic, we then also want to take a look at this from the paid world. So momentarily here, as I come through, we see I'm in the organic list, I go to the paid list, and I have a campaign that I call Standard Test and Target. And it is a company that I have called Marketing Intelligence that put on my demo site Blaze Factor. And Marketing Intelligence company, they want to bid on marketing execution and drive better engagement. So they generally been extremely challenged to do this in the past. There's just all the tools out there to allow them to really put better content in context has been extremely technical, requiring a heavy amount of investment. But now with Captora, it's very easy to get these type of campaigns live. So we look at this particular page here, it says the new marketing execution report. And I decided, I'm bidding on marketing execution. I want to do first a standard A/B test because I want to see what title is actually going to do better than the other. And so this might refresh from the new marketing execution report to a different title in a 50-50 split. And as I refresh here, I'm going to get a different title in time. So now it says get the marketing execution report. And I start, as I launch Captora, I watch this and understand what title's working best. And then out the windshield 30, 60 days, I also start to optimize more. And let's look at what that optimization entails. If we go into the product now of Captora and we see my marketing intelligence company, my template for paid. And we saw that the title changed, but that's not the only thing that can change. The dynamic HTML block here on the left-hand side might be nice buttons and bullets. I have my CTA that could change and different trust statements so I can drive better engagement. And then down the bottom, I might have a logo bar and based on industry, change the logos. And so I want to start doing that. And Captora enables me to do that, and I'll show you why that is. I have the default experience here, and this is where I tested the new marketing execution report and get the marketing execution report. As this time transpired, I noticed that people are also searching for marketing execution best practices, marketing execution software, and marketing execution ideas. And they weren't necessarily converting on get the marketing execution report, because that's not what they were necessarily looking for. The best practice people were looking for best practices. So I quickly cloned the content and made changes while the campaign was live and created the best practices content. And you even see here the offer changed in terms of the trust statement. The report gave me the best practices to move the needle and meet my goals. That's what it says on the offer now. Software, someone who's looking for software is not looking for a report, they're looking to compare software. So I want to maybe, instead of giving them my marketing execution report, I want to give them how to evaluate marketing execution software. And in this case now, I have a different offer, a different trust statement from Amali Sandel, and everything's talking about the content in the context that I'm most interested in, that's software. And the same thing can be said for ideas. Everything is about new ideas for marketing execution. Here are the 3 key ideas that you need to think about, and then we're using the offer for the best practices library. So this runs for a couple months because we're getting the keyword from those particular searches and putting content in context and driving better conversions. And so the key stat here, and keeping the end in mind, is our customers see 20 to 50% improvement when they target audiences in this manner. So they're seeing this improvement. This is great. But now, once I go to reporting down here on the right-hand side, I'm going to see the analytics. And because we're doing a reverse IP lookup, I'm going to start identifying industries that are visiting this campaign through my paid text ad on Google and Bing, etc. And what I've determined is there's a lot of people coming in from the real estate industry, and that's interesting. We don't really target that much, but we do have a customer that uses our execution software for real estate. So what I'd like to do is create that real estate content. I did that, and now I'm targeting those people that are coming in and wanting to get, searching for market execution. And now I'm saying, hey, it's all about real estate. So putting that in context of the visitor. And then aerospace, the same idea. So a couple months go by and I see great conversions through here. And now what I want to do is I see yet another industry. So perhaps it's insurance. And so how easy is it for me to conduct these operations? Well, I go and click the Experience Manager. And Experience is very much akin to a landing page. And so each one of these is a landing page experience, if you will. But the URL itself is inside my Google AdWords campaign or campaigns. So I'm going to take the real estate industry now. I'm going to clone that because what I'd like to do, again, is target the insurance industry. So I go ahead and clone that. I view the experience, and I want to clone the real estate because I'm going to make that change, and I'm going to remove the real estate one. I'm going to change the nomenclature that I'm using from real estate to insurance. So I go in there and do that very quickly, learn about market execution for the insurance industry. And I'd go and do that the same down here in these other areas where it talks about real estate and replace it with insurance. I'll skip that in terms of time. And then also my CTA. I know I have some insurance companies using us, so I'd like to select a particular CTA from my library that talks specifically about that. And I've got something that will work perfectly. I have the real estate specific one, so I want to clone that right off the bat. So I'm going to clone the real estate industry and create my insurance industry CTA. Now that I've cloned that, I'm going to go ahead and edit it very quickly and change this from real estate industry to the insurance industry. And the trust statement was insurance-based, and I want to change that to my insurance firm. And obviously, I probably have a different person and a different stat here. So instead of deal participation is 42%, we had a modest 22% with, James Green. and I might change the image here or the button, and I have that, or anyone from a line of business, I don't need to have a technical degree to get this done. I go ahead and click Done, and now I've selected this different CTA. I've changed the content. This is all about the insurance industry. Having done that now, all I have to do is go ahead and publish. This campaign's already live. The URL's already live on Google. I click Publish. All this content goes up into your Captora cloud and now is there to be dynamically served up to the correct user. So as you can see, day one, I'm doing A/B tests. 60 days in, I'm doing reverse keyword content in context. And then I start seeing industries, maybe sometime after that, and I start targeting industries. So a single campaign continues to mushroom, and you continue to optimize to drive these 20 to 50% conversion rate improvements and uplifts. Sometimes we have customers who've done 200%, 300%, 3 times improvement. And that can mean the world when you're spending $20K, $100K, $1 million a month on paid search spend. And that optimization can pay for itself in Captora simply by that optimization. And then that extra lead that came in, or I should say extra leads that came in, many of them became an opportunity, one of them closed, that pays for Captora as well. So the return on investment is exponential in form when you're going after paid and organic. And then you can do these cross-channel attacks between organic and paid as well.
Jason, I bet there's probably a question out there around differences between how Captora is doing this versus a RTP or an Optimizely type of design on the page. And if you could talk about how we complement those solutions instead of trying to supplement, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So with Optimizely, it's a lot more about the color and location. It's the style that you're generally optimizing for. RTP is awesome, and you've got the bottom bar, you got the sliders that it provides, the ability to embed RTP on pages. That's Marketo's real-time personalization. And generally, a lot of that's done on the head site. How this is differentiating is the content that we're providing with Captora allows for, we're not using JavaScript like some of the other solutions. We're actually putting all of these different pieces of content as static web pages that you don't have to worry about managing. And thus, there's no flickering when the page is served up to the user. And the quality scores are extremely high with these because, again, all the content is static in nature. And Captora is, again, handling the delivery of this. And we're doing a reverse keyword lookup rather than just IP. So the combination of being able to do keyword value track parameters from the paid text ad vendors and the reverse IP lookup really changes the game in terms of optimizing for paid comparatively to those other solutions that are doing something a little bit different that we complement.
Perfect. Thank you, Jason. That was the paid demo that we wanted to show you guys. So now we've gone over both organic and paid. Wanted to show you just a few more things in the app here, and then we'll wrap up with some questions and a quick summary. So I'll jump back into my PowerPoint here, and just went through the paid demonstration. Now we want to go through a quick summary of what we saw and get an offer for you guys. So first thing I wanted to go through is what we showed you today, and that the first part of the demo was to identify. So let's find all of those key areas where we can, not only using competition, but we're also taking into account buyer demand. So how much search traffic is there out on Google on each of these search terms? So using those two channels, let's identify where we can create new content, and then let's optimize it. Jason showed us how we can A/B test different titles, different pieces of content, different landing pages based on the Google search parameters that they're coming in, and the ability to report. on that information. So we're not only going to allow you to do the creation of all of these pages, but let's say you had a white paper or a video, or on the Marketo example, we saw they had a free trial and a 4-minute demo on the same page. Let's determine which pieces of content are performing at the highest rate, so we know when we build the new landing page, what content should we use. And these 3 areas are in line with the see, do, and win that we themed this webinar for. So we know that there's a lot of different point solutions out there that can help you with doing the seeing, doing identification. There's some landing page builders out there that can help you with the do, and there's some reporting tools that can help you with the win as well. It comes all back to that productivity of being able to manage hundreds of campaigns, and it's much easier to do so if we could do that in one place. Just like Marketo was to email marketing and you could do email marketing in one solution, lead scoring in another solution, manage your data in another solution, and they really helped us understand that if we brought that all into one piece of technology, it would be much more easy and much more efficient for us to work as marketers. Capterra is trying to do the same thing with the top of funnel. So when we talked about paid, organic content, even social campaigns that are driving people back to your website and back to paid campaigns, let's make sure that the money that we're investing in all of these things is worth it, and that we're tracking the successes. As we talked about with the C, we're going to get all the data across real-time and competitive intelligence, and then reveal opportunities and gaps. And so the offer we're going to show in a minute here has to do with how we can help you, free of charge, cover this first step here. Second step we went over is do. So we remember that we integrate with Marketo. Marketo's RTP, Forms 2.0, their most updated version, to make sure that as we're launching campaigns and doing things in Marketo, that is being heard and listened to in Capterra for our top-of-funnel efforts. The last section we went through is the win, and that is really identifying those pieces of content, and after we did those different tests like Jason was going through, giving you the intelligence on where we should be investing our future AdWords dollars and money. So we wanted to make sure that you guys, we appreciate you guys attending the webinar today, and wanted to make sure that you guys got something out of it. So not only are we going to do the drawing for a couple free summit passes that we'll get out to you by the end of this week, but we also are offering a free digital marketing assessment. So if you just go to capterra.com and type in your domain, it's going to ask you to provide 3 competitors, and we'll actually run a content analysis of you and your competition and let you know where you guys are doing really well from a content perspective, and where there may be some content gaps, where we can maybe create some of these new paid and organic campaigns to close that gap and regain our presence and our market share amongst the competition. So feel free to submit that, what we call a scorecard request, and we will run the data and get back to you with results. So we really encourage you to do that. If you really liked what you saw today and want just a personalized demo, you'll see we have a request a demo right there on the page, or so feel free to do that as well. For those of you that are already going to Marketo Summit, we are a major sponsor there in booth number 615. So would love to. We'll have a spin to win, giving out iPads and Amazon gift cards and all sorts of cool things. So come by the booth and spin to win. Jason and I will be there if you want to ridicule us on our webinar today, or dive deeper into anything that we said. So please stop by or come to the website and share with us. So with that, wanted to thank everybody for joining today. My contact information is there. Aya is our head of marketing. Her contact information is there as well. Feel free to tweet at us, and all response and feedback is much appreciated. We will now, I'm going to look at some of the questions that we got during the webinar today, and we'll see if there's any for us to answer here. Okay, so let me see. We've got some questions here around how long does it take to integrate Captora and get up and running. So that's a great question. So we will integrate in about the first week to 2 weeks of launching Marketo. So launching Captora, sorry. We do a server-side integration to your CMS, whether that be a WordPress or a Drupal or a Sitecore, etc. And that is so the URL looks nice and clean at the top of the page. If you remember Marketo's page, and let me just bring it up here as an example. If you remember Marketo's page, it has a nice clean URL at the top. And this is what the server-side integration does, is allows us so it doesn't look like a subdomain or anything with a bunch of question marks and slashes. Nice and clean here. So that's the first part of the integration. The second part of the integration is with Marketo, where we actually just take your Marketo or marketing automation forms, and we will embed those into your template. So usually integration takes about, the technical integration takes about 1 to 2 weeks, and it's more about just getting the right people in the room. And then we'll start identifying key terms like lead generation success or lead generation tools that we should start going after. And then we'll do the training of the application in the second 2 weeks. And most of our customers are live within about a month. Another question that came across was, how many customers do we have? So we have about 70 customers. Some great ones here locally like DocuSign and Zora and Blue Jeans Network, Inatos, among others. But we have about 70 customers, and those are a few example names. We jump in here and see what other questions that we have. Someone asked what the demo process would entail if you took a next step with us. Pretty simple. We would, again, just like on the website, ask you for a few competitors, get some of your data, and then run you through a much more custom demo of the content gaps and areas where we think we can help. So we will set up a one-on-one demo. Myself or Jason might be on that demo, or someone from our teams, and we will just walk through a more personalized demo. Even can get into some of your guys' templates and other things on the more technical side if needed. Just checking on some more questions here, guys. So I got a question on, we are looking to specifically increase the impact of prior investments. So that's a huge area that we can help. So we've already invested a lot of money in our Google AdWords campaigns, in our content, but we're not seeing great return. So that's where we would come in and really do some of that testing that we showed today around title, keyword placement, CTA placement, so the different calls to action, and do some testing around seeing how we can make the page more relevant and make it better from a user experience perspective for us to capture more people. We also find that a lot of our customers using Captora, with the organic strategy coming up with these hundreds and hundreds of demand signals, they can find terms and phrases that they can invest in paid that are a lot cheaper because their competition has not gotten there yet. And then we can also, with paid, understand which of our assets are performing at the highest rate, and so we can invest maybe more money in there, or launch some organic campaigns based on that paid campaign. So they're using the channels together to not only make an increasing impact on their prior investments, but also getting new ideas on where they can save money in the future.
In addition, on organic, or even think about all the investment you've made in your content, and Capterra identifying all that content and helping you put it and get it in front of more eyeballs so that you can drive these net new names, which in turn improves your investment in your Marketo license, because you're getting more names that you're going to be now able to nurture and drive more MQLs into the funnel, more pipeline influence, and revenue contribution.
So I think that covered a majority of the questions here. So wanted to say thanks again for everyone who attended today. Feel free to email us, and we'll get back to you to do a more detailed assessment with you or your organization. And giving everyone about 10 extra minutes back, so I hope you guys have a good rest of your Thursday into Friday and on to a wonderful weekend. So thanks for everyone again for joining, and we look forward to seeing you here on our next webinar. Have a great day.